We're going to look at the latest transfer news with Intuit QuickBooks, and we shall do that in the company of TalkSPORT's chief football correspondent. He's working every hour God sends this fella. Alex Crook joins us live. Alex, good morning to you. A short time ago, you very kindly messaged me about Erik Dier and gave us an update, and I've been using that. So where are we at now with Dier? Is he out of Tottenham and going to Bayern?
Yeah, good morning, Jim. Good morning, Simon. What a move this is for Erik Dier, bearing in mind that he isn't fancied at all by Ange Postecoglou. Obviously, they're bringing in Radu Dragusin, ironically, who Bayern Munich tried to sign, but having failed to get their hands on him, Dier very quickly emerged as Thomas Tuchel's top target. We've seen pictures this morning of Dier arriving in Germany, where he's due to undergo a medical. The fee, I'm told, that Bayern will be paying Tottenham is around about £3.5 million. And it's some rise, isn't it, going from being persona non grata at Spurs to Bayern Munich, one of the favourites for the Champions League, still the favourites, I'd imagine, for the Bundesliga. And I think Harry Kane, from within that Bayern Munich dressing room, has played a big part in this, recommended Erik Dier as the type of character that Bayern should be signing. It's interesting as well that Thomas Tuchel has spent a lot of his time as Bayern manager trying actively to get players from the Premier League.
It is, isn't it? Well, what a moment for Dier, Simon, isn't it?
Absolutely.
1 minute, as Alex says, seemingly not in the wanted list by Ange at Tottenham. Out of there, and you think, where is next? Bayern Munich are next.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, it's interesting to see and ascertain what Bayern Munich see in Erik Dier that Tottenham don't. Obviously, there's a different style of play, and obviously, with the way that Ange wants to play, it's doubtful that Erik Dier would have been a valuable asset in that. I think Tottenham have done some good business there. I think the player could have quite easily sat around and run his contract down, and the opportunity to go to Bayern Munich probably has created, because of the nature of the Harry Kane deal, probably created a dialogue between the two clubs, which was more easier to have.
Yeah.
So, whilst it's not a great transfer fee, it's a transfer fee where it could have been nothing. There's wages that have gone with it as well.
Yeah.
And I think the boy has landed on his feet, to be honest.
I think he has. I think he has. Good luck to him. Alex, every time, whether it's watching on my telly or listening to TalkSPORT, I hear Bournemouth have scored, I immediately think Dominic Solanke, and he's in the news. What's going on?
Yeah, he is. Absolutely. He's having a stellar season under Andoni Iraola, already the best goal-scoring season of his Premier League career. Inevitably, when you've got an English striker who's scoring goals with that regularity, there will be interest. Arsenal have been mentioned earlier this window, Tottenham as well. Definite interest at one stage from West Ham. Newcastle, the latest club attached to Dominic Solanke, although I'm told there's been no dialogue between the two teams, and it's been reiterated to me, even if there was, Dominic Solanke simply not for sale this window. Bournemouth see him as too key a player. He signed a big long-term contract recently, so it looks like he will stay on the South Coast. And actually, I did a transfer show, as you know, with Alan Pardew last week, and he was suggesting that maybe Solanke, to get a move to a top club, needs to keep scoring goals at least for the rest of this season and probably into next as well, because if you look at his numbers before this season in the Premier League, they didn't make for great reading.
Yeah, Bournemouth want to hold on to Solanke, there's no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
He knows
no
the back of the
net.
net.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, the question is, of course, can he step up to a big club? And what does that look like? Because we've seen players that have gone on these periods of time where they've scored a lot of goals and then fallen away. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a lot of that's down to injury, I understand, but there hasn't been a big clamour to sign him at a bigger club than Everton right now. And Solanke, I mean, I think he's transformed as a player, and you have to give a lot of credit to the coach and the way that Bournemouth are set up. But if you look at the goals he scored the other day and the hat-trick he scored against Forest, right?
Yeah.
He looked, his movement, his touch, his confidence. I mean, goal scorers thrive on confidence. And if Ivan Toney is operating at a level with Brentford and people are categorising him at a certain price bracket and looking at him as a big football club player, then there's no reason within short order, and probably by the end of the season rather than into the next, that Bournemouth won't be getting bids if he carries on scoring goals the way he is.
And I'm pretty sure that he will. So Simon mentioned Dominic Calvert-Lewin along the way there. What news on Everton this lunchtime?
Everton at this moment in time, fairly quiet in the transfer window. They're obviously having to operate under strict financial parameters. In fact, I'm interested to get Simon's take on this. I was sent some information via an agent yesterday suggesting that as many as 80% of Premier League clubs are very concerned now about staying on the right side of profit and sustainability rules. So that might suggest that this could be a quiet window. One player that Everton are looking at, we know, and there's an offer on the table to Manchester United, is Hannibal Mejbri, midfielder. They want to take him on loan. So do Sevilla. And my latest information is that he is edging towards joining the Spanish club. So that could be bad news for Everton.
I see. I see. Fulham and Paulinho, a player who impresses every time he plays.
Yeah, he does. I thought he was excellent, actually, for Fulham last night in that cup defeat live on TalkSPORT. Really disciplined performance from him. We know there was strong interest from Bayern Munich in the summer window. Jim, you'll remember coming in the final hours of the deadline day.
Yeah.
The German window shut a few hours earlier, and that scuppered his move to Bayern because Fulham simply didn't have time to source a replacement. They pulled the plug then. We were expecting Bayern Munich possibly to come back to the table this month. That isn't happening, as we understand from sources in Germany. We know he's also been offered via intermediaries to the biggest clubs in the Premier League. His age seems to be counting against him. He's 28, João Paulinho. When he was offered to Chelsea in the summer, they came back pretty firmly and said he didn't fit their profile. I find that a little bit odd, but at the moment, that's good news for Fulham because it looks like he'll stay.
Yeah, we've spoken about this lad umpteen times, Jack Clarke at Sunderland. What's happening? Do you think he'll go in this window?
I don't know if he'll go in this window because they want more than £20 million. And as I mentioned, I think a lot of Premier League clubs that would be attracted to Jack Clarke maybe don't have that kind of resource in this window. But we mentioned West Ham yesterday as a serious contender. I know Burnley have asked a question as well. And then you're looking at top championship clubs as well, the likes of Leicester and Southampton. So I think if it's not in this window, I think inevitably, unless they go up Sunderland, which seems a little bit fanciful at this moment in time, I think they'll struggle to hold on to him in the summer.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.